in a divorce or a separation after a de facto relationship, there are really two, apart from child support, which is a separate issue, there are two claims that can arise. One is property settlement. How would their property be divided up? And that depends on a whole host of factors, what contributions parties have made, what their overall financial circumstances are, what inheritances or gifts they might have had. So there's a whole lot of different scenarios which will inform how the property might be divided. But people have also got a claim for spousal maintenance.
Yes.
So you've got a claim for spousal maintenance against a spouse or a former de facto partner if you can establish that you can't support yourself from your own income, and secondly that the other party can contribute to your support.
Okay.
So if you're separated and one person can't work because of health or injury or lack of training or ability, maybe never worked, then that person might have a very valid claim for spousal maintenance. There's no tariff for spousal maintenance, there's no formula. It's a question in each case of working out what the applicant needs, reasonably needs, and what the other party, the respondent, can reasonably afford. And that will be different in the financial circumstances of every couple.
And how long would that be paid for? How long would the spousal maintenance be paid for?
It depends, Kat. Usually it's only paid until there is an overall settlement.
Okay.
And normally you'll try and do an overall deal as part of the property settlement that's in full settlement, property settlement and spousal maintenance. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes there's not enough property to basically buy out the other person's spousal maintenance claim. If the parties have got relatively modest property, then the person without income might be a candidate for ongoing spousal maintenance. I'm advising someone at the moment in which my client is a very high earning person and his wife never really worked and has got some health difficulties. He accepts that he's going to have to pay a truckload of spousal maintenance for the next 10 years. They're unusual, but they certainly happen. So spousal maintenance can be open-ended, but it's generally for a short period of time, often only up until the settlement, but not always.
Not always. And I guess, would that be similar to the situation where, say, where there's a younger couple where they've got young children, typically I guess it's the mother who's taken time off work to raise the children, only return to work part-time, would that...
Yeah, often in that circumstance you would have a situation in which, for example, the husband, if it's the husband might have to pay spousal maintenance for 3 years or 4 years to enable her to perhaps retrain. You know, you might have someone who's lost theirs, a nurse, for example, might have to go back and do her registered nurse qualifications again because they might have lapsed. So the husband might have to pay spousal maintenance for 3 years or so until she gets her ticket back, and then she's able to work again. So it can be for a fixed period of time to enable a retraining or a re-education. The court generally in Australia is not keen on open-ended spousal maintenance orders forever.
There's got to be an end date.
There generally has to be an end date because there is a section of the Act that says the court should, as far as possible, finalise the financial relationship between separated or divorced couples. It's not always possible, but that's the aim of the Act.
Yeah, so because the courts just want things to finish.
Yeah, there's generally a policy, I think, that it's best for parties, as far as it can be, to have a clean break.
Yes, move on with their lives.
Move on with their lives. Recognising that in some party circumstances that's not always possible, but that's generally the intention.
That's right. If you're going through this yourself or have a family member or a friend, please reach out to Greg and make a time to see him. Thank you.